Hey brother, how are you?
Bro, you got a clean ass whip, man.
Oh yeah.
I love the Lexus.
Oh yeah, keen to show you what it does. A few little updates on the way. You well?
Yeah, dude, I'm doing cool.
Yeah. I was thinking of getting like a little like packed lunch kind of thing and like getting it taken. Yeah, I know. I see that car all the time actually, and he only recently got that paint job done. So
It's a wrap, by the way. It's like a giant sticker.
oh, potentially, yeah.
Yeah. Because you can't paint that. We can do whatever, bro. Honestly, I'm chill.
Well, I haven't eaten today. That's why the only thing I'm saying, I'm like, oh, I really need to eat.
Yeah, let's go eat.
Plus, we can get a takeaway, you know, so we can go straight to the spot I got lined up.
Yeah. How's this car treating you, bro?
It's stunning. It's a beautiful car. And the crazy thing is, I keep having to remind myself it's 20 years old.
Yep.
20 years old, so considering like the features, like heated seats, heated mirrors, and the condition I bought it in was fucking amazing. So
The sunroof too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man.
I usually put it in tilt mode.
That's nice.
Yeah. You can imagine in summer though.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Really ideal.
I really like sunroof cars.
Perfect, bro.
So, Abel, where are we, bro?
Currently in Willoughby at a bakery getting some banh mi, fresh pork roll.
Sure. This is a local spot.
Local spot. Just fulfilling, you know, a good fulfilling meal to start the day.
Let's go.
And if I don't have the visuals coinciding with my music, I feel like I'm missing out on a lot of potential new listeners. And also, like, one thing I've noticed about me connecting with artists, like growing up, is I've always fucked with their music visuals first, you know, and then I'll like be like, oh shit, like this sounds really hard, but what draws you in first is that visual aspect, you know. So I think that's more important, putting things out. And my brother kind of convinced me that I don't want you to drop a song without visuals attached, like a music video. So the reason why it's taken so long for me to get my second music video out for my upcoming song, Life Lessons, because I'm just working and collaborating and getting different quotes, because I don't want to stick to one box.
Yeah.
I've met a great videographer this sesh. His name's Rob. And we did a great job with our first music video. I loved the vision, I loved his talent, but because I'm so new to the scene, I want to explore all my avenues, all my options. So yeah, look, I'm thinking of something a bit different for this next one. Also a lyric video.
Yeah.
But with cool visuals, like custom visuals. So I've been speaking to this guy that I met, and he's super talented. So yeah, I like collaborating with people that are just open-ended and like, and that's been the smoothest transition into the scene. It's like I've just met some really great people that are patient and understanding, and regardless of like who I am and my inexperience, they'll take me in and they'll show me the ropes.
Yeah.
Which I really appreciate.
That's what the scene needs, honestly.
Yeah. Because it all kind of starts off with the underground, you know.
Yeah. How are you navigating the scene, anyways?
Well, I think the main thing is that I was speaking to another friend. He's just starting off doing videography as well, and it really like struck a chord with me when he said this to me, because I haven't been doing it. Is to be an active participant in the scene, you've got to be there. You've got to be present. You've got to be in the audience, interacting with these artists. And the more you show up, the more your face is a familiar face, the more people will be like, oh, this guy's showing up, you know? He's supporting the culture, the scene, no matter how small or big. Maybe I've got time for him to have that chat.
Yeah.
You know?
That's how I started.
And I think that's something I want to improve on.
Yeah.
Is showing up a bit more and putting a bit of time and research into what's coming up, what concerts are coming up, how can I collaborate more with people, and it's just going to have to be in person, because I ain't going to achieve anything through DMing people.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I don't want to rely on anyone. As I make momentum in my career, I definitely want to ensure that all my time and effort is put into the right things. And what I mean by that is trying to find avenues that are gonna lead me to meet great people. Like I was saying with meeting the Flow State boys, they didn't seem like genuine people, like besides being an artist, and like it was just surprising that they also rap as well, and they've got a bit of momentum as well in the scene, and they're quite well known. And for me, like, I'm just putting out real authentic music. That's what I'm all about, really. I'm not about anything else apart from sticking to my guns and what I originally signed up for, which is
Yeah, I really liked your sound, honestly, when I first heard it. Like, I was like it's conscious, it's smooth, it's lo-fi, it's I like the sound.
Thank you.
You know what I mean, bro? You're doing pretty good, man.
I appreciate that.
If you need help with visuals and stuff like that, like, honestly, I can help you, especially down the line, because I'm trying to get funds for a camera, and I'm trying to also network myself to form a team where I could like help people do music videos and photo shoots and shit. You know what I mean?
I think the one thing I kind of researched and learned the most about the music industry is learn to do it by yourself.
Pretty much, bro. Pretty much.
Because relying on people isn't going to get you too far.
Yeah.
And learn the skill sets that most people won't take up the time to do. So I'm not just saying being an artist, I'm saying producing my own music, making my own music videos, like getting the skill sets behind that to be your own person as an artist. And, I think that's what I'm most excited for, is creating my own studio. One person that's really given probably the best insight into the music industry, and one of my look, in the past couple of years I haven't been super like in touch with his music, but just as a business standpoint, he's got a great mindset. Is artist named Russ in the US, and he just kind of gives all the hacks and all the insights into the scene, and how to like actually make money from this shit. Because that's that's commonality with most artists, is they're not earning enough money, they're not getting the return that they put in. For example, I'd say that putting 1.5k into a music video alone, and then also the engineering side of things, a 5-hour session, say $400 at a high-end studio, so nearing 2k already, and haven't even put anything out, and then the struggle is like, once you finally got it out, it's getting enough recognition, momentum. When you're just starting off, you're just putting out for the sake of putting it out, so it's out there. And that's more important, I found, is not worrying about the numbers, the views. It's more so about, why did I fucking start this? Why did I even like start making music? And if you stick to that course of, hey, I'm just gonna put it out there, now your discography is starting. And down the track, when you do get a bit of momentum, people can go back and be like, oh, this guy's been pushing out music for a while. It just needed the right kind of people to get in touch with it.
I like that point you made about thinking about why you first started. It's a really good way of grounding and even reflecting on why you first started making music. That's something I like look back to about my whole musical journey as well, man. Like, it's good advice you got.
I think the main thing is like, I got this lyric that I wrote recently, and I said self-doubt is the only thing I'm yet to lose, because doubt always comes up in any aspect of your life. And just starting off as an artist, I think you don't get the reaction you kind of wanted from your music, or you didn't get you didn't connect to as many people, say, and you start doubting things. But I think that's what was going to come up regardless. Is there was going to be not what you expected. But I think I keep going back to, look, I put it out there. That's what's the most important thing. And you've got a general trajectory of where you want to go next. And that's also important as well. So sticking to my path, sticking to the original concept of, this is why I'm doing this shit. I'm not doing this for anyone else apart from myself, because it makes me feel good. Like, that's the main purpose of what I'm doing. Music makes me feel good. It's always at a special place in my heart. And then creating my own music as well it's just another step in the journey of like, oh, it's just like a full circle moment, really.
Yeah.
Where I started off super into the rap scene, being originally from the UK. That kind of started my journey. And now look, it's like Australia is so easily influenced.
Yeah.
Like we literally took on the whole UK scene, like almost identically. Like so with the drill momentum, and then also like the grime momentum, and that's the one thing I'm finding strange about the Oz scene is for the past 10 years, I swear we've just kind of copied the trends from other countries.
Do you think we have our own sound?
And then only recently, I feel like we've got some real like genuine artists that are pushing out great music. At the top of my head, like some Aussie artists that are really my like top 3, I'd say, is this guy from Adelaide, Indigo Merkaba. Been following him for about 2 years. Originally found him through a Husky feature. And this guy is so fucking talented. And the great thing I love about him, he just keeps pushing out music. Always pushing out, and like considering he's only been making music for 3 or 4 years and has about 7 albums, three EPs, you know, like 20 singles and then about 50 features. Like that's an artist for me. Like someone that has a high work rate, but the consistency and the quality is still improving over time. He's not just making music for the sake of it. He's actually pushing out some fucking quality sound. I think another artist that would actually kind of be on that wavelength in terms of creating a true sound to where they're from is Mike Pompey from Sydney City. Another great artist. And I've been following him for a while as well. I just love his whole aesthetic. Really true to who he is, and I feel like I can't compare his music to anything else in the scene, and that's why I fuck with him so hard. Recently I found a few new artists. OG Mammoth, he released an album that I was fucking super impressed with. Just the whole production and the whole concept was mind-boggling actually. The quality. You can tell with like certain artists how much time they put in the production and the sound and the vision. I guess the epitome of that, my third artist, my top artist that I've been following for a while is JK47. Definitely one of the most talented artists in Australia. I think it was Revision for Growth, or one of his new albums. I've just had it on repeat for the past, ever since it came out, because the way it was orchestrated was perfect. And the messages and the insights, I was just also baffled as well with the quality. So he collaborated with a producer called Jay Orion. He's quite well known in the scene as well. And they did a great job with that. So just pulling up to the spot now.
True.
You like this one?
Headland Lookout. That looks so pretty.
Yeah, man.
Makes this place so special.
Multiple reasons.
Yeah. Well, I got one.
As you can see, it's just naturally beautiful.
Yeah.
It's high up. It's got a beautiful view. It's a great place to think.
No kidding. Holy shit. Holy cow, man. What the fuck? This is beautiful. Shit.
It's the beauty about the North.
No kidding.
They really protected the nature, and they haven't urbanized it too much. So you're still connected. Yeah, like I was saying, the reason why it's so special is just it's a great place to think and say you're dealing with anything. This is where I came to just calm my brain.
That's beautiful, man.
Yeah, calm my brain, because overthinking's a killer.
It really is, bro. It really is.
Overthinking.
No, that's just beautiful, bro. And especially having your own spot just to hang out and sit and chill.
100%.
Just give us your name.
Yeah.
And just say, hey, I'm so and so. You're watching Under the Chart with Sway.
Yeah. And then looking at the camera while I say that.
Mm-hmm.
So just say that again for me.
So your name will be Abel. Yeah. Yep. So hey, I'm Abel. You're watching Under the Chart with Sway.
Sway.
Swait.
Swait.
Mm-hmm.
Under the Chart with Swait.
Mm-hmm.
Hi guys, I'm Abel, and you're watching Under the Chart with Swait.
Yeah, there you go.
Is that sweet?
That's good. That's good.
We can do a couple takes a bit later if you want.
No. That's all I need because then it just films the intro.
Yeah,
but pretty much, bro. Let's get right into it, man. So Abel, thank you for coming on, bro.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you.
You can hold the mic for me.
Alright, easy.
Yeah, it makes it easy because you're the main topic of discussion.
Alright, let's go, Eric.
So let's go straight from the beginning. When did you start making music?
Age of 16, with my friends, just fucking around on the balcony, killing time, you know, as most 16-year-olds do.
Mm.
And I chucked on a beat, and we did a little freestyle. I loved the freestyle so much. My mate had a good reaction to it. I was like, oh, I might just write this down.
Mm.
And just started from there. Just with the boys, you know, having some sort of way to just talk shit, but have fun with it, you know.
Yeah.
Like it started off very comical, and just, you know, around the boys with this other sesh and just being silly. But then over time, I guess it got a bit more serious for me, and I started to feel my lyrics a bit more. You know, I got a bit of confidence, and when you got good people around you that are supporting your musical journey, they make you realize it before you do. Hey, look, whatever you're doing great. Keep going with it.
Mm.
And I guess it's been steady since then. Like since 16, I've been writing all my stuff down, and then only in the past 2 years I've got the courage to get in a studio and record everything that I've been making for so long.
How did it feel like to finally get your stuff out like that?
To finally push out my music was very relieving. It was like a weight off my shoulders because I had so much time to like think about, what's the reaction going to be like.
Mm.
But like I said, I had good people around me that were saying, hey, just get it out there. What do you have to lose? And I'm sure some people will connect, and that's what happened here.
You mentioned freestyling.
Mm.
How has your style changed since then?
Freestyling was more so of just a fun way to express, a fun way to kind of like make jokes of, you know, situations that were happening around me. And I guess over time, when you grow up and you leave high school and you learn some tough lessons, you get more in touch with your feelings, your emotions, and I was able to express how I was feeling a lot better through music. So I guess transitioning from freestyling to making actual songs was a big change for me, because I went from doing it for fun to getting some serious outtakes on how I view the world and what was happening to me. So say some life lessons and life stories that were happening around me, and just got it out on paper, you know, or got it out on my notes on my phone. That was probably the best way. Yeah.
Okay, man. How would you describe yourself then?
Describe myself, definitely I would say I'm a giver. I've always been very caring to everyone around me, and that's the tough thing about caring so much is people can take advantage of that. I think that's been a common trend growing up and maturing, is making sure I've got the right people around me that don't take advantage of my kindness. But at the same time, yeah, look, it comes down to me caring a lot, giving a lot, and mainly emotional intelligence. A lot of people have said I've got very high emotional intelligence, and I've only I overlooked that kind of statement because I didn't really think I did have. I didn't really know what emotional intelligence was. The more I did like research on that, I was like, oh, maybe I am kind of in touch. And I guess people have always come to me for advice, and people in my friend group kind of viewed me as like the therapist at times. And my brother always made fun of me for like getting deep with people. Like that was kind of my common trend. I'd try not to, but it just happens. The way our conversations lead, it gets deep.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's a bad thing. I think my brother just liked to take the mickey out of me,
Yeah.
which is fun.
I think that's a good thing to have, especially with any sort of person.
Mm.
People can trust you.
Yeah,
That's good.
I think that's a good point. I'm very trustworthy, and because I'm giving out like that genuine energy, with no like, hey, like, what's this guy's ulterior motive? There's nothing behind what I'm doing. I just like to give back to the world and put out positive energy, and if they want to receive that and they want to open up to me, that's fine as well. You know, I really would appreciate that, because when I'm talking to someone, I give my full self to them. I'm not hiding any hidden agendas. But with that, you got to be careful, because there's a lot of people out there that aren't like you or how I've described myself, that aren't like who I am. And that's due to their upbringing and their environment and how they've been raised as a person and their social group. So yeah, people are a product of their environment, and when you're giving energy to people, you've got to be very selective. And when you're meeting them for the first time, you've got to assess whether they've got the right intentions as well. And you can usually gauge that pretty well within 10 minutes if someone's got good energy, just through their body language, facial expressions, and how they respond. And if they're giving you their full attention or if they're distracted. So yeah, definitely a giver.
Damn, very, very insightful with that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Tell me about your name. How'd you come up with that? I want to know the story.
Abel.
Yeah.
Abel, all capitals. For a long time, I was always thinking, look, I need something a bit simplistic. I find with most artist names nowadays, they've got too many different things going on, and like they might have a great story behind it. I just wanted mine to be very simple, easy, roll off the tongue. I guess there was a child at my job that I was looking after. His name was Abel, and he was such a like mischievous boy. He was very adventurous, always like climbing, didn't like listening. And it kind of just reminded me of me. Every time I saw his behavior, I wanted to tell him off, but deep down I was like, oh, this kid's kind of cute. Like, he kind of reminds me of myself. And from that, I like the name. It's a biblical name. I guess if you know the story behind, Abel, there was like this whole story how basically in the Bible, there was his dad, 2 sons. One of them was Abel. The other one was like I said, like one of those people that didn't have good intentions. Was very self-absorbed, selfish, almost narcissistic in a way. And basically in the story, like to summarize it, that Abel had always the good intentions and chose the right path in life, but the other son didn't. And I think the other son ended up killing the father and the other son, Abel. But I think deep down, Abel was just calling me. I was like, oh fuck, I fuck with that. Rolls off the tongue. It's simple. It's easy. When I introduce myself to people, it's not hard to remember. It's just a simple four-letter word. And a little minute thing that I also kind of took into consideration is the first on most people's playlist. The A and the B.
That's smart.
It's small, but it was something else that was the thought driver behind that decision. Abel.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. What do you base your music on?
Storytelling. Yeah. My music always comes down to storytelling. And I guess recently, I am trying to find my sound. Like most artists, if they're starting off and they're pushing out their music, they're trying to find the sound that really connects with them the most. And I feel like for me, right now, it's definitely a storytelling vibe. Being honest and open and authentic to my true self, and then making sure that transitions into my lyrics. And I think the main thing with my songs, I want people to take away something from it. Firstly, I want them to relate. I want people to relate when they listen to my music and say, hey, that might not be my exact story, but along those lines that happened to me. And I feel that pain, or I feel that honesty. I guess the second thing following up from that, not just being honest and open, but yeah, just being authentic. No fake shit. I've always hated artists that put on that a weird social media personality that's so fake and unauthentic and basically doing it for clout, I will never be that artist. I'm always going to be true to myself, and I know it won't get me far in terms of views, because it seems like the going trend is to be as fake as you can to make it. And that seems like most people's journeys, and that's okay. You know, you keep doing that. But like I said, I'm going to be true to myself as an artist and make music that really helps me deep down, and hopefully will help other people. Yeah.
I like that. I like that. What about your inspirations? Who or what are they?
Inspirations. I think from a musical standpoint, definitely a couple artists pop up that started my journey. And I think around when I was 16, I think this is what started it. It was a great group from New York called Pro Era.
Yes.
Unbelievably talented.
Fuck yeah, dude.
All very young.
Yep.
And they just had like such a good aura. I loved their energy. I loved how they bounced off each other. So yeah, the standouts from that collective: CJ Fly, Kirk Knight, Chuck Strangers, Joe Badass,
Let's go.
Capital Steez.
Yeah.
Look, it's very nostalgic listening to that music, but also the person I connected to the most was Capital Steez.
I fucking knew it.
His ability to create lyrics that were meaningful to what he was going through, but stick true to like lyricism and hip hop at its core. And I think he's still respected to this day, because he passed away so young, 19 years old. Passed away, took his own life. But I always thought, wow, this fucking guy was the first artist where I really connected with, because he was obviously going through something. I didn't know what he was going through, but he was saying things I didn't understand at the time. He was very spiritually in touch for a young person, and at that point in my life when I was listening to him, I was not spiritually in touch. I was kind of the opposite. I was rebelling. I was trying to run away from my family in a way, and mentally I was just going through a lot in terms of navigating high school, navigating my identity, and navigating what I wanted in life. Yeah, and I was definitely blinded growing up. I had family that was loving, and they gave me all the opportunities, but for some reason I just didn't choose that path. I kind of chose the wrong path, doing the wrong things, you know, and going down a path of destruction in a way, which really disconnected me from my family and myself. That's one thing I lost, was myself in the whole journey of being an idiot. And you learn though. You learn from those experiences when you're young that this was all meant to be, and it was all part of the growing journey. And yeah, I made some really stupid decisions, but it made me who the person I am today, and I'm really grateful for that. And I wouldn't go back and change it, even though, say, it was to my detriment. I feel like people at my age, especially in my schooling environment, they had, since leaving high school, they had a great transition because they already had good routines set up. But for me, it took me a long time to find that solid routine where I felt like I had a reason to live, like purpose. And that's where most people go in life, finding that purpose. Yeah. What was the question again?
No, you're good. You're good. You're good. I dig that, honestly.
Yeah,
you
I
touched a
ramped
lot. No, go ahead. Like you touched a lot of bases there. You even talked a lot about your personal experience of it all. Well, okay. How do you relate to music?
Relate. Yeah.
Do you relate to it, or?
I don't think relate is the right word for me. Maybe I feel it more. I feel it. I think the first thing that would draw me into music is definitely the production side of things. And it's one thing I've overlooked my whole life is most of the old songs I listen to now, I don't actually like the artist behind it. I more so like the production, and that's why I downloaded it. And then growing up, I'm like, that's the first thing that stands out to me, is I'm hearing it, right? You know, and I think all humans are in touch with their five senses, but not many people utilize them. And I think with music, I overlooked how I was hearing it. I think it was more beautiful hearing the production and the layers to music rather than the artist that sang or rapped on it. And then I guess when I connect to music now, that's the first thing I'm listening for, is the production behind it. Is it high quality? Are there layers? Are the samples authentic to the artist himself? And do they make sense? Sometimes I hear artists that have great production, but the lyrics and the vibe they're coming with don't match up. It doesn't. They're not matching up at all. And I guess after that, after I get past the production, it's more so lyrics that I find authentic. Coming back to how I view myself as an artist, and then listening to other music. I love artists that are a true reflection of themselves in their music. And yeah, I think most people like to relate to the music they listen to. Otherwise, they wouldn't be listening to it. Relating is really important. But yeah, sometimes it's not even relating. Sometimes it's just the aesthetic, the sound, the cadence, the conviction of when they record, when they sing, when they rap. You believe it. And sometimes I don't connect with the music, but I believe it and I fuck with it. I fuck with the artist. I won't listen to it, but I respect it. I'll be like, hey, this guy's got great energy, and his conviction, he's really authentic. He's true to himself.
I dig that. I dig that. Where has music taken you? Because you're fresh in this music
look,
scene.
I've only just started releasing my music. So only the other 2 months ago, I released my first single, 8 AM in Sydney, and I was really happy with that moment. Just because there's been a lot leading up to that as an artist. Yeah, like I said, it's all about kind of self-belief. If you don't have self-belief, then you're not going to make it in this game. Because I found it's quite ruthless. And yeah, I think making sure you've got the right people in the scene around you to support your journey. And I think the hate's going to come with it as well. I think people tend to ignore it or get cut up by it. But I think when I met you the other night, I was saying how it fueled me. It made me excited that this is part of the journey.
Yeah,
not everyone's gonna like my music, and that's okay.
I think you mentioned hate comments as well. You thrived with them.
Yeah, look, I think it's more so not viewing it so negatively. I think one philosophy I implemented in my life all of last year was I was saying no to negativity, and it's quite a broad thing to say, but I just meant it in all aspects of my life. Just saying no to people, and it doesn't have to you don't literally have to say no, but you can just walk away. There's a lot of power in walking away from a situation, or meeting people and just realizing I don't want to be here right now. And that's that's having autonomy over your life, and making sure you've got good morals, good values, good beliefs, and they transcend over into where you want to be. And I think the more you mature, the more you learn, the more you know you've got high standards, and those standards aren't gonna fucking change for anyone. And once you believe in yourself, like I do now, it took me a long time. I'm really content with whatever reaction I get. Hate, love, in between. I'm content. Yeah.
Shit, bro, you say some beautiful ass shit, man. You basically covered a few of my questions. You mentioned what it's like for you to be in the industry. You mentioned it to be ruthless.
Yeah.
Opinions of others and comparisons. You're all about self-love, and you've stopped that. So no negativity. Avoiding issues. You pretty much do them face on.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
I think with issues, it doesn't have to be just you as an artist. I think it's just where you're at in life. With my other career, I'm very career focused. I have been my whole life. I left school and I didn't have much direction, and I found my purpose in education, and I love giving back to the kids. But there was something deep within me that was telling me, hey, you've still got that passion for music. What's stopping you? What is actually stopping you? And there was nothing stopping me. It was just my brain. It's very powerful what your brain can do and where it can take you. And it can take you to some beautiful places, and it can take you to some very dark places. And you just gotta choose the right direction. Make sure that you're in touch with how your emotions work. That's the most important thing. And a lot of people don't ever acknowledge this, is identifying what makes them a person and what's brought them up to how they are, and then dissecting when they have an emotion that arises, say anger, what's the trigger for that anger? And then go back to the first time you felt anger, you know? And most people remember it as, hey, like that kid stole my thing, you know, or he broke that thing, you know? And it does come back to your childhood. The reason why we are, most humans, are childhood things that happen that we overlook. And like that's the thing, is like, the reason why I love my job, I feel like I'm always reconnected to my childhood. I'm reliving it because I'm allowed to be a kid for the day in a way. I've got that professional aspect of it. But yeah, like I said, reliving your childhood and making sure it comes back to that just emotional regulation and being in touch with how you view situations. So say if there's any issues that arise in my life, I know how I would have reacted previously 3 years ago. But now I'm at a point where I dissect it way too much, to the point where it becomes a non-issue. I dissect it to the point where I find the root cause of why that emotion came up, and then say, hey, look, that's okay to feel that emotion. Let's go through that emotion, you know, cry it out, get angry, but have a good outlet for it, you know. Don't do something irrational. You want to be very purposeful in your actions in life, because I find time and time again it does come down to every action has a reaction, right? So if you're going by that standpoint, you've got to be very careful and selective in how you react to things. And what I'm saying is, when I react to my own emotions, in the past, I would have made the wrong decisions. But now, I'm already predicting what could happen if I react a certain way. So I process the emotion, I go through the emotion, and when I'm out of that emotion, and I've calmed down, and I'm at a good point again, I finally realize, hey, just wait a second. It's all good, bro. You know, it's all good. Like, you don't have to get too deep, you know, with why you do things. It's just more so of realizing it's all going to be good at the end of the day, you know. And say in 24 hours, 72 hours, it's going to be a non-issue. I guess the only thing that is more complicated when you live by that philosophy that I live by, is sometimes bigger issues come up, life-changing issues, and that philosophy might not align with how I was explaining how I think during those times. It will take a lot more deeper thought to dissect, and that's the thing. I can't predict what's going to happen, and also I don't have the knowledge. You know, most people have an ignorant mind state where they lack knowledge to inform them to make the right decisions. And even though I may come across of knowing things, it would be stupid for me to say, hey, I know how everything works. At the age of 25, I did not. I'm only just starting my journey, you know, to learn. And we've got to keep learning as individuals, as humans, to evolve and become people that we're proud of. And we've got to make sure that with knowledge, it's just, more power. It's kind of like a cliche, like, you know, with knowledge like comes more responsibility. I don't know how the phrase goes, but there's a bit of truth to it. But yeah, what I'm trying to say deep down is, to seek out answers, you've got to do a bit of research. You know, you've got to do a bit of soul searching. If that's looking within, that's the first step. But also say there's things you just don't know about, the internet is the best tool. You know? Look to the internet, find your answers, and make sure when you find the answers that they are sourced correctly. Because the worst thing I don't approve of is people attaching themselves to knowledge that isn't backed by anyone else. They just found it on Instagram or Facebook and haven't actually looked into like, oh, has this been studied? Has this been researched? And that comes down to like being an academic and say working towards a degree. That's the one good thing that I've learned from my degree is sourcing information and making sure it's reliable and avoiding misinformation.
Damn, man. That's a lot.
I know. The thing is, when I think and when say you're giving me a question, I'm trying to dissect it, and then I guess I go off on a tangent.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a bit difficult, and I apologize for that because there's a lot of different things I'm trying to touch on. But at the end of the question, I'll try and link it back to my main message that I'm trying to say.
I appreciate the way you answered it, but don't ever apologize for that.
Okay.
The way one of my teachers described it is that, you know, he tangent, you go around, it turns into a full circle, but he calls it a long bow. So you're pretty much drawing a very long bow, and I like that, man. Honestly, even then, you mentioned a lot. What would be a weakness for you as a musician or as an artist?
Doubt. I think I was saying in the car on the way here that one of my lyrics is self-doubt is the only thing I'm yet to lose. And I still believe in that. Not believing myself, even though I've come so far, that's just a natural instinct of mine, is to doubt myself and not believe. But belief is the key to success. Alright, say that again. Belief is the key to success. Alright? And when you implement that in your life, you'll see the world and the universe throw things at you that you wouldn't have fathomed before that. That's the beautiful thing about getting in touch with your spirit, getting in touch with your soul. You take things more lightheartedly, and instead of going back to say high school days where you were trying to understand how depression and anxiety works, and I didn't know how to deal with that. So I used weed to find answers and numb, and it did not lead me in the right direction. And I was saying earlier how I was kind of blinded to what was going around me because I was constantly finding an avenue to get a dopamine hit. Let's get a dopamine hit from here, or dopamine hit from there. But they were all unnatural ways of getting dopamine. And then as I matured, as I kind of grew up, I realized there's so many other avenues to get this feeling of dopamine, but without any illicit substance. So just being here now, being near water, seeing all the greenery, it's all being studied. Like, everything we see right now is already being studied. The benefits to humans getting out in the green space for 20 minutes is so essential for your mental health and your mental well-being, and can lift your day. That's the main thing. I think a lot of people might get stuck in a rut or be introverted and say they're depressed. They'll just stay in their room all day. But they're missing out on the opportunity to walk for 30 minutes, go to the local park, and that will change your whole fucking outlook. Because yeah, all your issues might be fucked up right now, and you might be going through a lot, but just getting out, looking at the fucking tree, seeing how it sways, and seeing how the wind moves with the tree, that could, like, you know, shift your day and say, hey, as much as my life's not going how I planned it, look around me, like, there's beauty around everywhere. It's just how you perceive things, you know, how you take it in. Yeah, and it comes back to the other thing I was saying earlier, just being present, just grounding yourself, and hey, look, my anxious thoughts are always thinking about the future, and my depressed thoughts are always thinking about the past. But if I just stay present right now in this moment, I can just be content for that small period of the day, and that might just get through your day, you know. If you're going through something, you know, you need to reach out to people around you. And if you don't have people around you, you need to make sure that you practice the art of self-love. And self-love comes within. Like, you have to dissect why you don't love yourself and ensure that when you're talking about yourself, it's not a negative view. It's more so coming from, hey, I'll never be able to do that. But the way you should think of it is, hey, I haven't done that yet. I have not done that yet. And that takes time. You know, I think it's tough. Going through like mental health issues are very important to me. I don't speak about it enough, but I think in my lyrics it transcends. And I don't have to overtly say it. I just know that people will understand through my storytelling and how I put my lyrics together that, yeah, look, I've been through things, but hey, I learned so much, and I'm so grateful that these things happened to me, and it's made me a great person. And I'm never taking that back. I'm never taking that away. I'm gonna be fully accepting of all the faults that I made in my life, and realize that, look, there's so many things out there. You're just yet to see it. Yeah, that's how I view things.
Damn. Yeah, man, that's all to unpack. But honestly, you say some beautiful stuff, and I know out there someone can relate to it, or at least take something from what you've said. Because I know this is your sinking spot. This is where you kind of get away from things.
This is my spot, by the way. This is like my go-to spot. Say, if I'm ever going through my feels, I'll revisit. Because I feel like most people should do that. They should have their nice little nature spot they should go to, just to go through things in their brain and just dissect what's happening in their life, you know? Yeah, this spot's very special to me. I won't get into the details right now of why it's so special, but I can just say how it's a great place to think. As you can see, the natural beauty is all around us, you know, and it's just taking a step out of the rush of being in a big city and just looking around and being like, hey, fuck, this place is beautiful. Gotta be grateful. Practice of gratitude.
Amen. What's the best piece of advice someone's ever given you?
I would love to say someone's given it to me, but I don't think anyone's given me anything. I think I've got a lot of direction from my parents. I've got a lot of ideas from my friends and the people I've met in life. But in terms of advice, it's always come from me. I think I'm my own worst critic, and going through things that shape me, I found that the only person to save me was me. No one was going to come and save me. So I had to find a way to talk to myself. You know? I'm a big self-talker. I think a lot of people are scared to do that, but I've always done it, and I don't know why I do it. I think it's more so I'm too in touch with my thoughts that my brain can't process all the shit that's going on, so I have to get it out. I have to talk to myself about it. I think it might be a bit of my subconscious speaking to me, that little voice in your head that talks to you at nighttime or throughout the day when you're making a decision and you're trying to decipher is the right, is this the wrong decision. That little thought process in your head is your subconscious each time, and I guess I'm connected in that way. So the advice I give to myself, I could go into depth, but I think to summarize it is more so trust the journey, because it's a beautiful one, and go back to why you started. Why did you start this journey? And man, it will take you on the right path. Just stay true to why you started and your beliefs, your morals. Don't break those, because the journey will take you on a different path if you don't stay true to yourself.
Yeah. Sorry, I like to just sit with that. That's all.
Please do.
Yeah, because
take it in.
Yeah, legit. I'm just trying to take it in.
That's good.
Okay. What about weakness as an artist? Because you mentioned strengths. What about your weakness as an artist? Sorry, I think I already touched weakness. Describe your favorite and least favorite thing about being a musician.
Favorite thing is just hearing new sounds and then on the spot creating an idea off the top of my head. So most of my curation of music is from freestyling. That's how my songs are made. I'll hear a beat, I got the melodic sound in my head, and then I'll kind of hum, and then I'll get some lyrics, and then I'll freestyle it. I'll get some bars that I like the most, I'll keep it, and I'll go from there. Alright, so it's just the process of making music, and when you've got a really unique sound from a new beat and you connect with it instantly, that's something that I love. That's one of my strengths. Weakness was probably stems from, again, doubting myself. Mainly just because I think that I get way too in my head about how people perceive who I am. And I think I believe myself. I know my music will relate to a lot of people. It's just curating how I put it out there. That's my main thing that I struggle with. And it comes from a lack of knowledge. I need to understand how the music industry works and dissect it a lot more than I already have been. So my weakness comes down to not having enough knowledge to create the best path to put out my music. Yeah, so I need to find the right answers so I can do the right thing with my music, so I give it the best voice, the best chance to succeed, but also just to get it out there in the right way. You know, some artists just drop music without a music video, chuck it on Spotify. They'll promote it through Instagram Boost. You'll see it for a week and they'll forget about it a week later. So I want to find a way to even connect one person or 10 people, so in that moment they know, oh shit, that one line or the one lyric I connected with, I'm going to remember that now, I'm going to save that song, and now that's one artist or one listener that is going to come to my music in the future when I drop.
Is there anyone you would like to work with or collab with? If you had a dream team or something?
It's a great question. I think right now I'm in this solo journey because I'm figuring it out, but the momentum is going to pick up, and I know because I'm in touch with where I'm going, I know I'm going to meet some great people. And off the top of my head, I can't think of anyone. Big artists, I'm not going to even touch on it because that's not the kind of direction I'm going for. I think just starting off quite simply, like I would love to collaborate with the people that have helped me in my journey. And just off the top of my head, the boys from Flow State, definitely I would love to collaborate with them, just because as people I'm already in touch with who they are and the kind of energy they put out to the world. But I also, the more I listen to their music, the more I'm like, fuck, this is very similar to how I view things. And they got that sound, they got that authentic sound that I fuck with. And they got great production behind their music. I know Script's fucking been doing production for a bit. I know Blue Tongue's doing production. So that's another thing. I want to collaborate with them, not as artists, but also as people, because I can learn a lot from them. And I already have, kind of, in a way, just from seeing how they curate their artist page and release music and get in touch with the people through going to events. That's one of the main things that I'd love to do with him. Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
Do you have a project that really stands out to you?
Off the top of my head, yeah. So this one was by Capital Steez, and it was released a couple months before he passed away.
American Corruption?
Yeah. And it's got the KKK in the wording. Man, some of those beats are so nostalgic for me because I was going through a weird place in that time when I was listening to that music. And I remember sometimes I'd just have my headphones in and I'd fall asleep to that album on shuffle. And for some reason, like, I just can't get it out of my head to this day. The way that album was put together was beautiful. I liked how a lot of the beats were very MF Doomy, very unique in sound. Some great samples were used, but like I said, Capital Steez was so in touch with his emotions, and the way he was able to transcend it over to his lyrics and create great wordplay, great lyricism. And he just had a gnarly sound. His cadence was so smooth. His flow patterns were so unique. I really fell in love with him as an artist after that music was dropped. And yeah, it made me a bit depressed, not gonna lie, when he passed away, because I was like, fuck, I won't be able to get any of his music now. You know? Luckily, like, since then, since his passing, it's been a long time. There have been some unreleased singles from his discography. Yeah, but deep down, it's just like, yeah, I think Revision for Regrowth, that's the one that's really connected me recently. I think ever since going to university and doing a subject called Aboriginal Education, I've really got some more insights into Indigenous culture in Australia, and listening to an artist like JK47, who's Indigenous background, I really loved how he curated that album. He's very spiritually in touch, which is why I connected to his music and his lyrics. Super talented, but also is super proud of his culture, and it also comes across in his music about the hardships of being an Aboriginal person in Australia, but making the most of it, you know, not letting it define you, and being proud of the culture and turning a new leaf. And that's what it sounds like through his music. He's had a kid, he's got a wife, and he's on a great path. And I think I'd love to see him live one day, because I was baffled by how amazingly good that album was. And I think for this year, it's my favorite album. And I've rarely ever said that. I've always connected more so to the highest quality of music coming from overseas, UK, America, going back to my UK roots. But fuck, man, the Aussie artists are unbelievable right there, on a fucking roll, and I'm so keen to get around it and support it and be there, not as an emerging artist, just as a supporter for the scene. Yeah, I fuck with everyone, that's what they're doing right now. Even if I'm not a fan of the type of music they're releasing, I fuck with the fact that they are going full steam ahead. And I think that's the best thing that's happening in the scene right now, is everyone's kind of getting around each other. I even met Hayden Wings the other night, the guy behind Take Flight, and I was at an album listening party. I just wanted to have a quick chat with him. I asked him for a bit of advice as a new artist. He gave me some good insight, but also I just wanted to like congratulate him on like bringing the scene together and not making it so old school where it was like, fuck, so competitive and this and that. I don't fuck with that. I like how he's bringing everyone together, highlighting new artists, some old artists, and putting everyone on. That's the most important thing. Even if you're starting up, as long as you're like helping other artists help each other, like that's what the game's all about. Yeah, that's what hip hop's about.
Amen. That's what hip hop is about. What factor do you think makes a hit song?
I like how you touched on this, because I was watching this video about T-Pain. He was going on about he doesn't make music to make a hit song anymore, because he's kind of experienced that path of making hits, but now he just does it because he loves making music. He doesn't want to find that hit song. But I guess a factor that would kind of make a hit song comes down to like that catchiness. If it gets stuck in someone's head, it's hard to like forget about that. And that's what makes radio so good for most listeners, is because it's something they're doing on the way to something, like on the way to work, or on the way to anything, they're usually traveling in a car, or they say maybe at home, say, and it's just a catchy song, you know. Making a hit song, I guess also there's got to be some relating factor in the song, in the lyrics. I find most music comes down to love, heartbreak, relationships. They're the ones that really make a hit, because most people can relate to that. Most people have had a partner and they've gone through a breakup, and it transcends to most people across, you know, you don't have to be young, old, or in between to understand what heartbreak feels like. Also, same time, just topics that people can relate to, and a catchy kind of tune that it's hard to forget. Yeah.
I think that. Is there a song that's made by another artist that you wish you made yourself?
Off the top of my head, no. But I think more so from a production standpoint, I love how artists collaborate with their producer and make it unique to them and their sound. And that's the only thing I'm seeking now, is finding a producer I can collaborate with so I can find my own unique sound, and we can alter the song to find that. Because a lot of producers will send beats to me and I fuck with it hard, but sometimes I think, how can I make this uniquely mine? This song mine? I think that's just the time. The more I reach out, the more I collaborate, the more it's going to be interesting.
It's so pretty, isn't it?
Yeah, it's stunning.
I found a little Laura key.
Yeah.
Man, this is a beautiful spot, bro.
I'm not gonna lie, I've never seen so much like wildlife here.
Yeah.
We got bees, we got a bee's nest over there, we got lorikeets, got a beautiful crow rocking up.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Fucking hell, bro. You know how to pick a spot, man.
Oh yeah.
Shit. What? Do you have a favorite track at all? One that you've made yourself that's your favorite?
I'll have to think actually, because I do have a couple that really stand out to me.
Okay. You could spitball them anyways.
There's this great one. It's called Bygones.
Mm-hmm.
And it's short. It's a short song, but it really captures who I am as an artist. And I'm really keen to release that one because it's got a very unique sound. It's almost like a harp. There's like a harp playing in the background in the production. And yeah, the lyrics are very meaningful to me. You know, it touches on my grandfather passing away in the song, but it also touches on who I am as a person and the lessons I've learned. But it's all encapsulated in a very brief song of like under 2 minutes. But most of my other songs are over 3 minutes. So yeah, I would say, yeah, Bygones by Abel.
Bygones by Abel.
Yeah.
Besides that, do you have any other releases you want to mention?
Yeah, look, life lessons. That's the thing I'm dropping next.
Yeah.
This is a very... You're really going to get in touch with who I am after this.
Yeah.
Because I think the main thing is it kind of gives people an idea of why I am the way I am and what I've gone through. Speaking on breakups, right? I went through a pretty tough breakup myself, and in this song it kind of tells the story of what happened. And what I took out of it, you know, that's why it's called Life Lessons, because there was multiple things. It wasn't just one thing that I learned from it. It was multiple different things that I learned from that breakup, from that hard time in my life, and I came out so much better. But I guess with going through a hard thing and then making music about it, and I was saying this to my engineers that I work with, you've got to revisit those emotions. It's very difficult, but if you can encapsulate what you went through and get it across in the song, that's the most beautiful thing about it.
That's pretty much us for today, honestly. But
respect.
Yeah, bro. Give a shout out to anyone who you want to at this point, man. People who've supported you, anyone you want people to go check out.
Yeah, I think mainly shout out to my family family is always going to be there for you. I think most people struggle to reconnect with their family after they've gone through something with them, but yeah, family's always going to be there regardless. So keep them around because they ain't here for long. Love to the people that pushed me through this journey and got behind me and believed in me. Good friends, you know who you are, I don't need to say your name. And thanks for the people that left. All the people that left, you were meant to not be in my life. Because look where I am now, I'm so content, I'm so happy, and I've got the ambition and drive to achieve whatever I want because you came out of my life. And I appreciate you guys as well. Alright, peace out.
Fucking beautiful, bro. You gotta chill out. But yo, I'm Sway. This is on the chart.